I haven't heard that complaint very often. Could we, in the audio room, there we go. How's that, folks? Is that better? Okay, thank you, audio. All right, let's see if we have a quorum for all articles before us. Would the tellers please take a quorum count? Oh, yes, and teller in the middle. The first 3 rows should be non-voting, so they shouldn't be counted. Let's see, I'm sorry, first 2 rows. And while I'm on that subject, please hold up your cards. Anybody who's not holding a card, as I said last evening, that means either you're a registered voter and you didn't get a card from one of the checkers, so please come down and get one, or that means you're not a registered voter. And that you should be sitting down in the first 2 rows, or in the center, or in the first row to my right, please. And the color of the day is purple. Just as a preliminary, as I mentioned last night, there are 2 documents when it comes to Article number 6 that we'll be reviewing. There's a yellow document titled Town of Wareham Proposed Fiscal 08 Budget, otherwise known as the original proposed budget, and there's a green document that's titled Town of Wareham Special Town Meeting Report of the Finance Committee. If anybody doesn't have one of these, I assume that we still have enough of both. And if you need to get one, who would have them? Are they with the checkers, or are they still outside? They're still outside, I'm told. We're ready for a quorum count. Tell it to my right.
54.
54 in the center.
106.
106. Well, we have a quorum for our business. And to my left. 77. 237 in the hall. We have a quorum to vote on all articles before us. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask you to rise. If we could have the spotlight on the flag, please. I ask you to say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just to summarize, we completed all of the business on the special town meeting warrant last evening, and we dissolved that meeting. So it is not in order, it would not be in order to try to go back to any of those articles. We will commence with the annual town meeting this evening, and before we get to the first article, as is the course of business, for what reason do you rise? The question is, are there any of the yellow documents available? How many people need a copy? More than 3. I'm told there are 3. So I would ask you if you would please share with your neighbor, if you could. And if that means rearranging your seats, do that and say hi to your new friends. Yes, what reason do you rise?
Don Hall, Circuit Ave, Precinct 1. I believe it is suitable at this time for the moderator to have a count of the department heads. That was not done last night.
That will be attended to. Thank you.
Okay.
At this point, I will open the floor up to the chairman of the Board of Selectmen for her opening remarks. Ms. Ekstrom.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The town has gone through several changes in the past year, and those changes will continue for the months ahead. As most of you know, last fall, the Board of Selectmen decided not to renew the town administrator's contract, and Mr. Hartman's tenure with the town ended in March. We have also seen the departure of two long-serving selectmen, Renee Fernandez-Abbott and Mary Jane Pillsbury. On behalf of the town, I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge their dedication and hard work over the past several years. The annual election brought us the re-election of Bruce Savageau and the election of Jane Donahue and John Cronin. Jane Donahue, I said. Okay. On behalf of the board, congratulations and welcome. With a full Board of Selectmen, we are moving forward in the search for a new town administrator. The town's current treasurer-collector, John Foster, has been gracious enough to step into the position on a temporary basis while we continue the search. On behalf of the town, I'd like to say thank you to Mr. Foster for your dedication to the town. The Board of Selectmen hired Bennett Yarger Associates to do a professional search for the new town administrator. Many of the department heads have already met with them, and the job has been advertised and posted. They have already received many qualified applicants, and the Board of Selectmen should begin interviewing the candidates in the next couple of weeks. We are confident that we will have a new competent town administrator in place and under contract well before the start of the next fiscal year. A former selectman wrote in her departing comments that she hoped that there were people who would step up and help solve the problems that are facing the town. Quote, and above all else, people who respect the charter. This Board of Selectmen is committed to abiding by the charter and to solve the problems that we find the town in. It will not be easy, as there are many challenges that lie ahead and many tough decisions that will need to be made. But we, as a board, are committed to working together to solve the problems that we have been handed and the ones that we will face in the future. Sometimes, however, following the charter is not the easy thing to do, but it is always the right thing to do. We hope that everyone has had a chance to take time and review the warrant articles in contemplation of your votes this evening. Our government is a participatory system where your input into the process is not only needed, but required. I think I can safely say that any differences that you may have heard of between the Finance Committee and the Board of Selectmen or any other committee or group regarding the budget or any other article, it is not personal. Both groups are trying to put forth what they think is in the best interest of the town as a whole. But neither of these boards or any of the others are the decision makers. It's up to you. Thank you.
Floor up to the chairman of the Finance Committee for his opening remarks. Mr. Heaney.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. This year's budget presentation by the Finance Committee is not going to be an easy one for you folks. Tonight, it will actually be quite difficult, I think, for you to get through. The Finance Committee's budget presentation is being presented to you without an override, just so that that's clear right from the get-go. And as we told you, the town, back in May of 2006, and again in October of 2006, we will have a budget problem in fiscal 2008. We said that months ago, and it has come true. The town of Wareham's problem is not unique to the town of Wareham. It's actually being experienced by many towns in the Commonwealth, and it's a fundamental problem or concern with Proposition 2.5 and the basis upon which Proposition 2.5 was developed. Wareham receives 86% of its revenue from a combination of the property tax and state aid. There is no real increase